A leading woman is someone who is brave, purposeful, and kind. One who knows what her priorities and responsibilities are, unafraid to voice her opinions, and willing to use this to create meaning and purpose in all that she does and the lives that she touches.
Natalie Jorge, welcome to Leading Women.
Hi, Angel. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
May I call you Natalie? Is there a nickname?
Call me Ching.
Ching, it's a pleasure to have you on Leading Women. How have you been, your family and organizations during the pandemic?
Like many families, we've had to adjust to this new normal. The way we communicate, engage, the way we live our lives has changed and will continue to change. We've had to make certain adjustments at home. We've had to create, spaces for me, my husband, my daughter, where we can, work effectively and efficiently throughout the day. Hopefully things will go back to normal. But while we are waiting for that time, this is really a period of adjustment and trying to see how to make things work. No? And the same for organizations that I am involved with. Things that can be done easier and faster with face-to-face communication or meetings like that takes a bit longer, and nuances in work relationships that are very Filipino in nature is harder to do online.
The challenge talaga of just keeping it together, making sure that, like what you've said, no, with your child, your daughter, adjusting to the new normal, adjusting to having you and your husband at home all the time, enjoying that time. And then for the organizations that you're involved in, for those that you've also founded, what challenges do you see are taking place, and how have your teammates or your colleagues adjusted? Have they adjusted even?
There's really no other way, but you really have to adjust and see what works. How can you make things more efficient? These things that we're doing now, they're not gonna stop. And a lot of the things that I'm doing are in the area of social development. So actually, it's more important now that we continue to work and be involved and communicate with our partners, with our colleagues, like that. So yes, there's been a lot of adjustments to working online. And it's funny because I think that there's actually more work when you're working from home.
Working from home, more work, a lot of organizations that you chair. Please tell us about the organizations. I know for one that you are very much active with the youth organization and other social political organizations, initiatives and groups.
So I'm currently leading a new program called Youth Leadership for Democracy. So this is a joint program of the Asia Foundation and USAID. It's really an investment for our young Filipinos for the next 5 years. I'm also on the board of directors of Patobalani Foundation. I've been with them for the last 16 years. Our work there is focused on uplifting the quality of education in the country. So we work a lot with the Department of Education. We work a lot on training teachers. We've had to develop a lot of programs online, for them to transition from offline to online. It's really, they're in front of their cameras and their laptops, from 5 in the morning to late in the evening for our students. So this is a time to celebrate and give honor to our teachers. I'm also an Asia 21 fellow and a Global Council member of Asia Society. And then I am also a co-founder of Youth Vote Philippines and an alumni of the IVLP network of the US State Department and an alumni of the Europe Asia Young Leaders Network.
Wow, you're involved in so many different things, but from what I gather, it's about the youth being able to encourage them, empower them, and enlighten them on how they can proceed, more so now than ever because of our social political landscape, the health crisis.
I've always been involved in programs relating to the youth, and not only because we are investing in the future of our country, but providing the right education and guidance also predicts the kind of society and leaders we will have in the future. So, investing in the young, and not just, and not just first-time voters or young professionals. We really have to start younger. And so, but I became more passionate about working with the youth ever since I had, of course, my own to nurture and grow like that. So I want to make sure that not only would I influence my daughter to be a productive individual with great love for country, but I also wanted to make sure that I make a significant contribution to the kind of society and country that she will be growing up in. And that's where all of my work with Youth Vote Philippines, Young Public Servants, and all of these other socio-political organizations and movements have come in.
Next, Ching tells us more about the programs and initiatives that are empowering the youth. Coming up on Leading Women. Working towards a better future, Ching encourages the younger generation to take part in the nation's rebuilding.
The challenges of not being able to go out, maybe even their voice not being heard as much as they want to. How do we deal with this? How do you help them, or how can we help them as a fellow citizens?
Quite a challenge because in the past, without the pandemic, of course, we had the school network to rely on, right? To reach out to them, we just visit the schools, reach out to their schools, be there or invite them to different events and forums that they can be a part of. Right now, we don't have that school network, but they are present online. So a lot of our programs are actually going to be, especially for next year, are going to be all online. We're adjusting to that. And we're reaching out to them to different campaigns on social media like that. So even if I am not a social media expert, I think that I would become one because of this process. Because that's the only way to reach out to them now, and that's where they are. The millennials now are different, the way they engage and all that. So I've seen that change. I've seen those who have been really, really politically involved. I've had a lot of volunteers who have run for public office, or some have moved to the private sector, but there are also some who want to be engaged but don't know how to be engaged. And I think that, it's always important to be able to provide that guidance and that mentorship, because that passion to make a difference will always be there amongst our young people. And we have to be able to guide that process so that they become real agents of change.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to hear that there's hope in being able to reach out to the kids, being able to help them, because that is what they can hold on to, no, Ching?
So in our Asia 21 community, we've been working together on how we can provide solutions to these many problems that we're currently facing. I've always believed that less talk and more action, diba, is very important during these times of crisis, especially now we have a pandemic. It's really about looking for solutions. Right? So there's been a lot of initiatives that have come out of that. I've been monitoring all of these initiatives and trying to link people together. And also during the time, I also found an opportunity to be of service by physically delivering all of these PPE equipments to the different hospitals. And when we didn't have supplies, we didn't have masks. March, April, May, there was none. And so I went to many hospitals in Laguna, in Rizal, in Manila, just to bring them the equipment. And I was able to also talk to the doctors and the nurses to see what they needed, to see how they were doing. So I was like a delivery girl for but I didn't mind. And what's nice is that my family also understood my need to do this, my need to reach out and be able to contribute in some way.
Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel? How fulfilled were you? You're taking the risk, you're connecting people, you were giving help, giving yourself. It's also the heart of a mother, It's also the care, the giving, the compassion. Would you say it's the number one? That's why you're out there helping, again, with the youth and all those who needed your help.
Yeah, I think not only that, no, I want to also consider like a lot of the really good young leaders who are not mothers, no, but there is that trait, no, when you're a mom, it's you don't think of yourself really. You really think of your child, you think of others. It's never about you anymore, but about the things you do. How can you make other lives better? How can you make your child's life better? So it's never about you anymore. So I think that's common also with a lot of the people I work with, right? When it doesn't become about you, when it's really about what you can contribute and how you can help others.
Thank you very much, Jane, for sharing your responsibilities and priorities. And good luck to all the organizations that you head, to all those that you inspire and you teach, and be safe.
Thank you very much, Angel. It was a pleasure to be here with you.